Happy Vlogmas! It's the 18th. However, I've been a little bit inconsistent with Vlogmas videos. But I have a really good reason, my friends. I dropped my laptop last week. Thursday, I think it was. Oh boy, did I kill it. I killed it really good. I am bringing this to you thanks to my new laptop. Oh, we had a debate about getting the old one fixed or getting a new one, but my old one was old. Well, I've been through a couple situations in the last year when it comes to computers. Dead computers, corrupt computers, downloading everything all over again. It's been one thing after another. At least it feels that way to me. Probably the worst cyber computer year I've ever had. So here's to 2018, just stopping that. So the discussion we had was the money it was going to cost to get it fixed. We need to bite the bullet and get a new one. You know that expression my grandparents used to say, throwing good money after bad? That was going to happen if we tried to fix the old one. So got a new one. Reluctantly, but I have to admit when this happened, the times earlier this year when I've had problems with my computer, it didn't drive me to the brink of that kind of stress. It happened to be that I'm in the middle of putting together the Christmas Eve morning and Christmas Eve services for church. So I needed documentation. I needed everything that was on there. I'm the only one that had it. Hadn't gotten to the point that was ready to share with anybody yet. So there was that. And then there was that my meal plan and my grocery shopping, everybody food I was supposed to eat for the week on my low carbing program was in my computer. Yeah. I just take the laptop onto the kitchen counter and connect to my recipes and my food plan or print out anything I need to print out. Somebody who's only 2 weeks into a new program, I felt like the rug had been pulled out from underneath my feet. I don't know it well enough. And I kind of proved it this week. I gained a half a pound this week. Now, don't get too concerned about that. I didn't freak about it. I knew I was floundering a bit. You know, low carbing is so different than the balanced eating program that's part of my 1.5 years on Weight Watchers. I know that program so well. I didn't need a computer or documents or food lists or anything to do that and do it perfectly. But I'm still learning low carbing. I'm still learning what is low carb. And sometimes surprised at what's not. So I was a wee bit stressed out. So I put expedited delivery on the order of my new laptop. And it was supposed to be here this coming Wednesday. But it showed up the day after I ordered it. Thank you, HP. So my new laptop is really kind of like the old laptop, only a newer version with more memory and some gidgy gadgets that the older one didn't have. I was all excited because I thought maybe finally I have a video camera on my laptop that I might be able to direct record from. I can't get it to work. I'm saying the words, but they're not matching what my mouth is saying. The two of them just aren't together. So back to my camera, because I love it anyway, and it's better quality. So I made it through the week with potlucks and dinners out. It's the season for that, you know? Dinners at other people's houses, or meals, or get-togethers that involve food at other people's houses. I can't say I did terrible. No, honey, stay down. Or the scale would have shown a lot different than the half a pound gain. No, you need to go away. I already thinks he fits up here with me. He doesn't fit up here with me. Somebody needs to tell him that. So it was a challenging week. It would have been no matter how long I'd been on the program. I find that unlike Weight Watchers, where eating out or at somebody else's houses or going to community gatherings was very easy. Very easy. If nothing else, you could take a small quantity of something that might not be the best when it comes to points, but still stay within your points for the day. I'm not finding Atkins to be that way. Honestly, I'm going to take Atkins wherever I go. It's going to have to go where I go. I'm going to have to be very good at portable food. Well, that doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. But especially in this induction phase, and especially as I'm getting used to things, the bottom line was there wasn't anything really except for the ham. There was nothing at the potluck I went to, for instance, that actually fit on my program. So I just needed to bring my own food with me. I was busy doing a lot of running around, and I was busy with dealing with finding a new computer, ordering it, getting all the programs reinstalled. My documents aren't a problem. I back them up on an off computer. What do you call that? It's not the cloud, although it is on the cloud. I use Carbonite. I spent so much time sitting, I didn't get my walking in. I got to yoga, but I didn't do a lot of stuff. The latter half, the former half. What is that, latter or former? Wednesday through Saturday. Didn't get much done in the way of movement. I was kind of sitting way too much. And I also didn't get my water in enough. Even on Weight Watchers, I knew the difference that made on how good I felt and how I processed food when I was trying to lose weight. I knew the reasons why it wasn't such a good week. I'm okay with them because it was really a learning experience for me. Most especially when I did the meal plan today for grocery shopping for tomorrow, I emailed it to myself because I'm never going to get caught without that plan again. If something were going to happen, and if I had continued having bad luck with computers and something happened now, I'd use my husband's computer to go into my email and get my plan, and there it is. You learn as you go. All in all, it's all well in the end. I can't complain that I got the computer on Saturday, and by probably by the middle of the day today, I had things pretty much back and working. Reinstalled all the programs that I have for video editing and my PDF program, but all with a license that I could go back out, download them with the same license number. Everything worked out fine. I don't have anything to complain about, but I was not happy that first day or so. It's amazing how disconnected you feel when you're offline, not by choice nowadays. I do sometimes go offline a couple of days and more than a couple of days. I just need to get away from social media. I attend to only the smallest amount of business that I need to attend to on the computer. That's not unusual for me. But when you don't have a say in that, it kind of makes you feel disconnected from the world. That's how I experienced it. There was lots of things to think about there. My panic at being disconnected was a manufactured panic. That's really not my world. My world is what surrounds me. That could wait a day or two. Oh, if it was gone forever, I'd have a problem with it because friends. But it wasn't gone forever. It was just going to be gone for a short period of time, and my reaction was probably an overreaction. I don't know, maybe it's the time of the year when you're reaching out and community matters the most to you. It's uncomfortable if anything changes. I love the new laptop. It has features my other one didn't. A non-glare screen, a backlit, a keyboard. It has the light you can change at night. Good speakers. Like, I have always played my music through a wireless speaker separate from my laptop because my laptop was just kind of It actually sounds good in my computer now. Oh, still not as good as coming out of the wireless speaker, but much better than before. Comes in handy if the wireless speaker hasn't been charged. That's for sure. So I reacted to it in panic mode. Got to my place of being calm. Thinking I wouldn't get the computer till Wednesday, and then it comes in the very next day. I've always had really good service from HP. The last couple, maybe 3 computers we've gotten, so that means both my husband and I, we've gotten from HP, and they've been really, really good. If something's happened to them, it's basically because we did something. What I had done, I had spent 2 hours in the kitchen prepping my food, chopping vegetables, constantly using my hands. And at the end of that period of time, and it's not unusual for me, lots of us my age, it's not unusual, my hands were kind of useless. They wouldn't hold anything at that point. They were kind of worn out. And I went to pick up my laptop. Well, the hands weren't going to hold it. That's the other thing about this new laptop. It's a lot lighter. So that'll come in handy. But the thing is, I should have known better. So I was frustrated with myself. All's well now, though. I have to catch up on my church business now. Get busy about those notes for Christmas Eve morning and Christmas Eve service. So, yeah, I need to get busy. But I wanted to get back into Vlogmas. It's going to be a fun week. Got some nice things planned as the week goes by. Not necessarily holiday-related things, except for the solstice celebration on Thursday. Had a wonderful experience this past Sunday, which helped calm me down from all those computer angst. My yoga studio once a month does what they call it a peace circle, and the idea is some kind of modality will be present to encourage you to be in peace and take peace into the world. So it's been chanting and singing, and it's been movement, it's been all different kinds of sound healing. And Sunday was the gong. There was a gentleman who played the gongs. He had like a 4-foot wide one and like a 3-foot wide one. It wasn't what I expected it was going to be. I've been to a couple gong baths, as they called them before, played in the traditional way, and I just loved it. You know, the vibration and the silence and just, oh. But he did something very different. He studied with an Asian master on a technique where you use a bow on the gong. It was kind of like a singing bowl kind of sound, except more strident. At first, honestly, I did not like it at all. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got to sit here for another hour. It felt like nails on a chalkboard to me. But then I would hear the vibration behind that of the deeper, more internal sound of the gong hit with the regular mallet. And all of a sudden there became this flow and ebb of what felt like discordance with harmony, strife and peace. And I felt myself like with the tides just going with the experience. And it must have been something I really needed. I would have had to do a lot with balance. It's a time of the year where I'm making a lot of plans about balancing my life, experiencing the world as balance between dark and light. The hinge of the solstice. I really liked it. I don't know if I'd always like it, but I liked it here and now. I felt bad because two of my friends went with me, and they didn't like it at all. They both had to resist the urge just to leave the room. It really, really felt so discordant to them. They got no comfort and no healing from it. For me, it was that way at first, and then I felt myself melting into it, and I loved it. I loved it for now, is what I think. I don't know if I'm always going to love it, that's for sure, but I think I needed that feeling of the balancing of extremes. So I was very grateful for the opportunity to be there. Looking forward to this coming week when my monthly kirtan is being held, and that same feeling of being in a place almost of suspension, of perception of reality, but at the same time some deeper understanding that nothing really is. It's hard to describe it. It's a place those vibrations from the gong took me, and it's the same place chanting takes me when chanting is done to the point of ecstasy. So a lot of good things this week. Christmas Day itself for us, kind of a non-event. We don't have family. We don't gather with anyone. We do go out to dinner at our favorite Asian restaurant. I used to do that long before it showed up in the Christmas Story movie. It was just something that was done. The only restaurants that were open if you wanted to. Especially as a single person, you wanted to get out and be with community if you found yourself alone on Christmas Day. I might not be Christian, but I was raised in a Christian family. And my parents, who are still alive, God bless them, they're on the West Coast. I don't get to see them. My grandparents are gone. My aunts and my uncles are gone. Most of the people that I grew up with that I celebrated Christmas with are also gone. They've all passed over to what comes next. So I did at times. I would celebrate the solstice with that community, and it was joyful, and it was just wonderful. And then a few days later come Christmas, and I'd realize I'm kind of alone when it comes to Christmas. Going out to dinner became a thing I would do on Christmas Day. When I was single, I used to do dinner and a movie. When I've not been single, it's been dinner and just spending time, maybe watching movies at home together or just having peaceful time at home. That's what it'll be like for us. I'm actually looking forward to it. It's been, in the end, a good week. It had its ups and downs. It was kind of like that bow on that gong. Sometimes it just felt like your last nerve was being plucked, and other times it just felt like, ah, that's life, isn't it? And that's it for now. Until tomorrow.